An oil spill on Sunday followed by several days of heavy precipitation, and this is what crews are using right now. Have the water washing up here, splashing at times against this brick wall. They were treated like all-stars, and why shouldn't they be? 3 private jets flying them back down to Greenville from Williamsport. Those found guilty of making false threats through social media currently face a maximum of 39 months in prison. Behind me is agricultural land, but just a few feet away is this solar farm categorized as commercial. Many of our viewers have reacted online, and here's what a few of you are saying. We're starting with Kelly Askew. She says, I think it's great the youth are seeing through the NRA propaganda. Ken, in just the first month alone, more than 3,300 violators were caught by these cameras. One of the busiest intersections right here along Arlington and Greenville Boulevard, which accounted for nearly half of all violations. Despite these high numbers, I spoke with a lot of drivers who say they weren't surprised at all.
And people have been cheating the lights for a long time.
Too many people are trying to run these lights.
It's a problem that's growing. Running the red lights.
They're telling how many times I saw the light flash where somebody went through the red light.
And it didn't take long for us to see it either. Within minutes of arriving at the intersection of Arlington and Fire Tower, 2 flashes signaling another driver that was caught running the red.
You can't talk to anybody in Greenville that hasn't seen somebody run a red light in front of them.
In the first month alone, 3,336 red light violations were approved at 5 Greenville intersections. 55 violations were thrown out after being reviewed by a Greenville police officer.
If it's even close, if there's any kind of concern at all, we don't send it on as a violation.
The cost of one of these tickets, $100. $31.85 of which goes to the American Traffic Solutions who operate the cameras, the remaining $68.15 to Pitt County schools.
There probably would be some significant income that would be coming to the school system.
For a cash-strapped school district like Pitt County, any help is much appreciated. Just within the first month of operation, Pitt County schools will receive more than $220,000 from violators caught by these cameras. What will it be used for?
To bring in new technology to the schools and also update outdated technology.
But police hope it'll do more than that. They're hopeful driving habits can also be changed. And I did ask Chief Mark Holtzman whether or not they intend to add more cameras in the city. He said they want to keep the cameras at the 5 intersections for now. Now, if the violators continue on pace like they were in the first month, for the rest of the year, Pitt County schools could be receiving anywhere between $2.5 and $3 million. Live in Greenville, Josh Birch, 9 on your side. Since joining WNCT, I've taken you, our viewers, behind the scenes to some of the dermatologist appointments I've had. But this time was a little bit different. I want to warn you, some of the pictures you're about to see may be hard to look at. I was an invincible 23-year-old getting a master's degree in journalism and following my dream to become a TV reporter. But on December 26, 2012, everything changed.
You have type 1 skin, which means that you have really no protection from the sun.
I was diagnosed with skin cancer. I had probably had it for years, unknowingly allowing it to spread across my entire right lower eyelid. Over the coming months, I had my lower eyelid cut off and then rebuilt over 4 surgeries. This is what it looks like today. Ever since then, regular dermatologist visits have become part of my life.
Mr. Birch.
How are you?
How's it going?
But now 27 years old, the word cancer is being brought up again, now for a second time. During a routine skin check, Dr. Drury Armistead discovered precancerous cells on my face that had a pretty good chance of developing into squamous cell carcinoma. To take care of the problem, I'd undergo a treatment called blue light or photodynamic therapy.
This will pick up things you and I don't even know are there.
Fast forward 2 months, and I was back for treatment. They painted my face with an acidic medication.
Any cell that has the medication inside the cell, when it interacts with the light, it goes like popcorn.
After an hour and a half of waiting, it was time for the blue light.
Doing okay?
It burns.
It felt like hours, but after 16 minutes, the light was turned off.
It really got surprisingly bad down here.
The bumps that I'm starting to see now, is that stuff?
Yeah, that stuff starting
that's
to
always
happen.
that?
Yeah, that stuff's starting to happen to you.
For the next several days, my face burned, blistered, and then peeled. But it was worth it if the precancerous cells had died.
I was diagnosed probably when I was 26.
Stories like mine are becoming all too common among young people.
It felt like somebody had just knocked the wind out of me.
Jennifer Berg also battled skin cancer. Hers was on her face and was removed through Mohs surgery.
They cut down the side of my face until about the end of my nose, and then cut from one corner of my eye to the other. Just being in the sun pretty much all day, every day. I never wore sunscreen.
But 31-year-old Brad Coleman did. Despite that, this young father has a growing count of skin cancers he's had removed.
7 or 8. You feel yourself sinking in your seat a little bit, especially at the age that I was.
The rates of basal and squamous cell skin cancers are so high it's nearly impossible for national data to be collected. But the National Cancer Institute does track melanoma cases, which have skyrocketed, increasing from 7.9 cases per 100,000 people in 1975 to more than 25 cases per 100,000 people in 2014.
I think more people are aware of it, but sadly, not a lot of people are doing any more to prevent it.
Many of those people not being proactive are young. The melanoma rates among those ages 20 to 49 have nearly doubled since 1975, increasing to more than 14 cases per 100,000 people.
I think the biggest thing is to become proactive more than reactive.
Coleman, Berg, and myself were the lucky ones. We caught it in time, but far too many others aren't so lucky. When we did that interview with Dr. Armistead, he said he had already diagnosed 10 cases of skin cancer that day. He says awareness without action and protection is simply not enough. Josh Birch, 9 on your side. It's become a familiar sight and sound in downtown Kinston. Mother Earth Brewing pumping out thousands of gallons of craft beer.
You know, we started with 3 employees.
What started as a dream in 2009 has turned into a household name when it comes to North Carolina brews.
We've grown pretty consistently at around 35 to 40% a year.
But with expansion comes some growing pains. Increased taxes for one. But a proposed tax overhaul on Capitol Hill would help local breweries and distilleries by cutting alcohol excise taxes from $7 a barrel to just $3.50.
I mean, that's about a $25,000 to $30,000 savings.
Even for smaller breweries, the proposed tax changes would equate to thousands of dollars in savings every year.
How often does a tax break happen, much less one cut in half?
At Uptown Brewing Company in Greenville, cutting the excise tax would save them around $4,000 every year.
That's 2 months' salary for a production assistant.
With more savings in taxes comes the opportunities for local breweries to reinvest in their company and community.
That is much more encouraging to me in terms of hiring new people, which is what I need right now. In order to grow my business, I need to hire new people.
They earn their college degrees and they want to come back to Kinston and they want to find a job, and it's great for us to be able to provide these jobs.
In Kinston, Josh Birch, 9 on your side.